Commander Aaron stepped down from the shuttle and looked around the Galactic Summit Hall. It was the largest place he had ever seen, taller than the tallest human building and shining with colors that shifted like liquid rainbows. The floor reflected the ceiling, making the space seem endless. Leaders and ambassadors from many alien worlds were already inside, talking in voices that ranged from deep rumbles to high melodic tones. Humans were still new to interstellar diplomacy, and Aaron felt the weight of representing his species. He straightened his uniform and adjusted the golden badge of the United Earth Council. The badge was simple, but it carried the pride of humanity. He had trained for years for this moment. Every word, every gesture, and every decision he made here could change how humans were seen across the galaxy. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. As he walked through the hall, he noticed different alien species. Some were tall with skin that looked like polished metal. Others had soft, glowing patterns on their bodies that moved like waves. A few had multiple eyes, while some had no eyes at all but sensed the world through vibrations. All of them stared curiously at the humans, whispering among themselves. Humans had traveled far in space and had shown courage in many situations, but most aliens still underestimated them. Then he saw her. Lady Vila. She stood near the main stage, her long flowing robes shimmering in soft green light. Her skin had a gentle silver tint, and her eyes were bright, intelligent, and curious. She was from Zythera, a planet known for peace, beauty, and wisdom. Aaron had met other aliens before, but something about her made him stop. She was not only beautiful in appearance but carried an air of calm authority. She turned toward him, and for a moment, their eyes met. She gave a slight nod, acknowledging him. Aaron returned the gesture. He could feel that she was different. She was watching not just the human arrival but him specifically. Other delegates were busy with their own greetings, but Lady Vila seemed genuinely interested. Aaron continued walking and met his fellow human delegates. Ambassador Laura, a seasoned diplomat, greeted him with a firm handshake. "The summit is more impressive than I expected," she said, her voice calm but full of energy. "Stay focused, Aaron. This is where humans earn respect." Aaron nodded. "I will. I understand what is at stake." They passed through a grand corridor filled with banners representing each participating planet. Each banner told a story of history, achievement, or philosophy. Humans had only one small banner, showing the Earth and a rising sun, but it symbolized humanity's potential. Some aliens barely noticed it, but others whispered and pointed, curious about this young species from a small blue planet. The opening ceremony began. The lights dimmed, and a soft hum filled the hall. Aaron took his place at the human delegation's seat. From the stage, voices spoke in the Galactic Common, the shared language of the summit. Delegates introduced themselves, one by one, and shared greetings of peace. Some made gestures, others projected holograms of their home worlds. Humans were simple in comparison, but their sincerity caught the attention of many. During the ceremony, Lady Vila approached Aaron quietly. "You represent your people well," she said in a soft voice that somehow rose above the hum of the hall. "I am curious. How do humans think about family and trust?" Aaron blinked, a little surprised. Most aliens asked about politics, technology, or strategy. "We value loyalty and honesty," he answered carefully. "Family is more than blood. It is about caring for each other, protecting each other, and making the right choices for everyone's good." She listened closely, her eyes focused on his face. "That is rare," she said. "Many worlds speak of peace, but few truly live it in action. Aaron felt a small spark of pride. Humans were known for their adaptability, courage, and resilience. They had survived wars, diseases, and environmental disasters, and now they were reaching for the stars. "We try our best," he said simply. The ceremony continued, but Aaron could not ignore Lady Vila's presence. She was polite, respectful, and calm, but there was a deep interest in her gaze. He wondered if she saw something in humans that others had not yet understood. Some delegates whispered among themselves, clearly surprised by her focus. After the ceremony, the hall opened for informal greetings. Aaron shook hands with several alien leaders, answered questions about Earth, and explained how humans work together despite differences. Lady Vila remained nearby, observing quietly. When he approached her again, she smiled slightly. "Humans have courage," she said. "Not just in battle, but in heart and mind. I admire that." Aaron did not know how to respond. Few aliens complimented humans in such a personal way. Most praised achievements, strength, or intelligence, but she spoke about character. "Thank you," he said finally. "It means a lot coming from someone with your experience and wisdom." She nodded, her smile gentle but knowing. "You are new to the galaxy, yet you already show promise. That is not common. Many species take centuries to learn what you have in years." Aaron felt both proud and humble. Humanity had much to learn, but it had also proven itself in ways that could not be ignored. He realized that the summit was not just a test of diplomacy but a stage where humans could earn recognition for their values and spirit. As the day progressed, delegates mingled, exchanged ideas, and built connections. Aaron stayed attentive, knowing that every word, every gesture, and every choice mattered. Yet, he could not stop noticing Lady Vila. Her calm presence and quiet interest followed him wherever he went. He wondered what she thought of humans and whether she believed they were truly ready to be equals in the galaxy. By evening, the hall slowly emptied. Lights dimmed, and delegates returned to their chambers. Aaron remained near the stage, reflecting on the day. He thought about Earth, his home, and all the challenges humans had overcome. He realized that the summit was more than politics. It was an opportunity to show the galaxy that humans were brave, kind, and honorable. As he prepared to leave, he felt a shadow beside him. Lady Vila's soft voice spoke again. "Commander Aaron, the summit has only begun, but I already see that humans can change the galaxy in ways no one expects. I look forward to seeing more of your world and your people." Aaron smiled, sensing both mystery and promise in her words. The day had been long and challenging, but it had also been the beginning of something greater. He did not know what the future held, but he knew that humanity had a place among the stars. The next morning, Commander Aaron arrived early at the Galactic Summit Hall. The sunlight from distant stars filtered through the massive crystal walls, casting soft patterns on the floor. Today was dedicated to cultural exchange. Delegates from every world would present their traditions, art, music, and philosophies. Humans had a small slot in the schedule, but Aaron knew this was an opportunity to show who they were beyond their technology and courage. The hall was already filled with delegations. Some aliens projected holographic gardens, others played strange musical instruments that vibrated through the floor. Many species had customs that seemed impossible to understand at first. Some communicated with colors, some with sounds beyond human hearing, and a few used gestures that looked like dancing. Humans would have to work hard to stand out without relying on visual tricks or exotic powers. Aaron walked toward the human presentation area. He noticed Lady Vila standing near a small group of delegates, watching everything carefully. She smiled when she saw him and inclined her head slightly. Her gaze held curiosity but also something deeper, a genuine interest in understanding the humans. The human delegation set up a simple display. There were screens showing images of Earth's landscapes, from deserts to oceans, mountains to forests. There were small models of human cities and videos of daily life, family gatherings, and festivals. It was modest compared to some of the alien presentations, but it was authentic. Aaron stepped forward to address the hall. "Greetings, respected delegates," he said in clear galactic common. "We are humans from Earth. Our world is small, but it is filled with life, diversity, and hope. We value family, courage, and honesty. These are the principles that guide us in everything we do. Today, we share a glimpse of our lives, so you may understand who we are beyond our technology or battles." There was polite applause. Some delegates leaned forward, intrigued by the simplicity and sincerity of the words. Many were used to grand displays, but few had taken the time to explain the meaning behind their lives. Humans did not rely on illusions, they relied on honesty and heart. Lady Vila approached him again after his introduction. "You speak with clarity and honesty," she said softly. "Many leaders try to impress, but you explain your world without pretension. That is unusual." Aaron nodded. "I believe that understanding comes from truth, not show. Humans are not perfect, but we try to learn and grow. We believe our actions must reflect our words." She smiled, a small curve of her lips that seemed thoughtful. "That is why I am drawn to your species. You act with courage, yet you also act with care. That combination is rare among the stars." After his speech, Aaron guided a few delegates through the human display. He showed them how humans lived, emphasizing values like helping each other, working together, and respecting nature. He described human family structures, explaining that loyalty and love were not limited to blood relatives. He spoke of communities that united in times of challenge, showing that humans could survive and thrive in adversity. One delegate, a tall being with crystal-like skin, asked about human emotions. "Your species shows both fear and bravery. How do you balance such contradictions?" Aaron smiled. "We understand that fear is natural, but courage is choosing to act despite fear. Humans learn to support one another, and that helps us be brave when needed. We grow through challenges and try to make the right choices for everyone." Lady Vila listened quietly, her eyes focused on Aaron. "Your words carry wisdom. Many species speak of harmony but do not practice it. Humans practice what you preach, even if the universe is not always kind. That is impressive." Other delegates began to ask more questions. Some asked about education, some about leadership, some about art and music. Aaron answered each with patience, honesty, and clarity. He could see delegates exchanging surprised glances. Humans were not flashy, but they had depth, integrity, and resilience. Those qualities were catching the attention of many. During a break, Aaron walked to a small garden area inside the hall. Strange alien plants floated in the air, glowing softly. He watched them for a moment, feeling a rare sense of calm amid the excitement of the summit. Lady Vila appeared beside him without making a sound. "You appreciate life," she said, her voice gentle. "I can see it in the way you observe even the smallest things. Most delegates are focused only on power and status." Aaron nodded. "Life is everything. Without respect for it, we cannot hope to build anything lasting. Humans have learned that protecting life is more important than proving strength. She studied him for a long moment. That is why I am intrigued. Your species balances strength and compassion. That balance is rare, and it gives humans potential to do great things. I believe that other worlds will notice your spirit soon. Aaron felt a mixture of pride and humility. He had hoped humans would gain respect at the summit, but hearing it from someone as wise and experienced as Lady Vila made him realize that their reputation could grow even faster than expected. Later in the day, there was a demonstration of interstellar art. Aliens used light, sound, and even gravity to create moving sculptures. Humans were asked to participate with their own creation. Aaron chose to show a video of human cooperation during space missions, disaster relief, and scientific discovery. It was simple, but it demonstrated humanity's values in action. Delegates watched intently. Some whispered among themselves, clearly impressed by the human ability to act bravely and kindly without superpowers or extraordinary technology. Lady Vila clapped softly when the video ended, her expression thoughtful. After the cultural exchange, Aaron returned to his delegation. They discussed the day's events and prepared for the next session. The humans had shown sincerity and heart, and the reactions were promising. Other species were beginning to see that humans were not just newcomers, but a species capable of courage, intelligence, and moral strength. As he left the hall, Lady Vila appeared once more. "Today, you have shown your character more than your achievements," she said. "Many species measure worth by power or wealth, but humans measure it by heart. That is why I am fascinated by you." Aaron felt a strange warmth at her words. He did not fully understand the depth of her interest, but he sensed it was more than curiosity. Humans were gaining respect, and he realized that sometimes, recognition came not from force or skill, but from honesty and integrity. He left the hall that evening feeling a renewed sense of purpose. The summit was more than politics. It was a place to prove that humans could shine not just in battle or science, but in character, courage, and compassion. And somewhere deep in the assembly hall, he felt that Lady Vila's gaze would follow humanity's journey with interest and admiration. The day ended with hope, curiosity, and the promise of discovery. Commander Aaron knew that the real challenges were just beginning, but he also knew that humanity had already taken an important first step. The morning light of the Galactic Summit Hall gleamed through the crystal walls as delegates from countless worlds took their seats. Today's session was to discuss interstellar collaboration, alliances, and trade agreements. Commander Aaron adjusted his uniform and straightened the badge of the United Earth Council. The stakes were higher than ever, and every word mattered. Humans were still young in the eyes of the galaxy, and any mistake could harm their reputation. Aaron noticed Lady Vila near the front row, her silver-tinted skin glowing softly under the ambient light. Her eyes were focused on the stage, but she glanced at him briefly and smiled. There was a quiet confidence in her presence, a reminder to Aaron that observation was as powerful as action. The speaker from the planet Merida addressed the hall. He spoke of trade routes, resource sharing, and interstellar law. His voice was commanding, and many delegates nodded in agreement. Humans were attentive, taking notes, and showing respect. Aaron understood that respect was earned not only by words but by presence, by showing interest and understanding in the affairs of others. Then came a break. Delegates were free to mingle, discuss, or ask questions. Aaron walked along the rows of alien representatives, exchanging greetings and answering questions. Some asked about human technology, others about culture, but all were polite and curious. Humans had already shown sincerity, and that impression seemed to grow with each interaction. Aaron paused near a platform where Lady Vila was speaking quietly with a group of delegates. When she noticed him, she excused herself and approached. "Commander Aaron," she said, her voice calm and melodic, "your people have impressed many here. I wish to ask a question about human relationships." Aaron tilted his head slightly, surprised by the personal nature of her inquiry. Most delegates were focused on strategy, alliances, or resources, not personal connections. "Of course," he replied. "I will answer as honestly as I can." She looked directly into his eyes and spoke softly but clearly, enough for nearby delegates to hear. "Humans value loyalty and trust in families and companions. Tell me, Commander, how do humans view lifelong bonds and commitment?" Aaron paused, considering his words carefully. "We believe that commitment is a choice made every day. It is built on trust, respect, and care. True bonds are not simply formed by agreement or ceremony, but by action. They grow stronger when we face challenges together." Lady Vila nodded thoughtfully. "That is a rare quality. Many worlds speak of bonds, but few act to preserve them through difficulty. Humans practice what they preach." The hall quieted suddenly as she raised her voice just enough to address more than Aaron. "I wish you were my husband, human." A silence heavier than any before filled the hall. Delegates froze, some with mouths slightly open, others exchanging shocked glances. A few whispered to each other, clearly stunned by the declaration. Commander Aaron himself felt his heartbeat quicken. No alien had ever spoken such personal words publicly at a diplomatic event. The room seemed to hold its breath. Aaron's mind raced. Was this a cultural gesture he did not understand, a personal statement, or a diplomatic strategy? He studied Lady Vila carefully. Her posture was calm, her eyes steady. There was no mockery, no hidden intent he could detect. Her words carried sincerity. Aaron found his voice, steady but measured. "Lady Vila," he said, "that is an unexpected statement. I am honored by your words. Could you explain their meaning in this context?" Lady Vila smiled faintly, her expression softening. "In my culture, emotional compatibility and recognition of character are highly valued. When I say this, I am expressing admiration and acknowledgement of your qualities. Courage, integrity, and compassion are rare, and humans display them naturally." Delegates in the hall began to murmur. Some were intrigued, others confused. Few had seen an interspecies interaction so personal and public. Some ambassadors whispered that perhaps Lady Vila's words were symbolic, meant to show recognition of humanity's virtues rather than a literal proposal. Aaron nodded slowly, his mind focusing. "I understand. I am grateful that you see these qualities in humans. My actions are guided by the values of my people, and I am honored that they are recognized." Lady Vila's eyes sparkled with approval. "It is not merely recognition. It is trust and respect. Humans act with heart and wisdom, and that is why I speak openly. Your people have potential to change the galaxy through courage and collaboration. That is what I wish to honor." Other delegates leaned forward, listening carefully. They had expected political speech, not a personal declaration. Some of the younger delegates seemed inspired, seeing the potential of humans not just as negotiators but as beings with moral strength. Aaron glanced around the hall. He realized that Lady Vila's statement, though unusual, was also a statement of recognition for humanity. It was an acknowledgement that humans were capable of deep values and noble actions. In a way, her words elevated humanity in the eyes of the galaxy. He took a deep breath. "Lady Vila, I accept your respect and your words with gratitude. Humans will continue to act with courage, loyalty, and integrity, and we hope to earn the trust of all worlds here at this summit. Lady Vila inclined her head. That is all I could ask for. Recognition is the first step toward understanding and partnership. Humans are ready to contribute not only through technology or strength but through heart. That is what makes your species extraordinary. Delegates began to applaud quietly. It was not the raucous applause of spectacle, but a measured, respectful acknowledgement. Many seemed to understand that this moment was more than personal. It was a reflection of humanity's rising reputation, a signal that humans were not only capable but admirable. Aaron felt a mixture of relief and pride. The initial shock had passed, and now the hall viewed him and his species in a new light. Lady Vila's declaration, though personal, had become a symbol of humanity's potential and value. After the session, the delegates began informal discussions. Many approached Aaron with polite compliments. Some asked questions about human leadership, some about family values, and a few about courage in difficult situations. Everywhere he went, he saw a shift in perception. Humans were no longer seen merely as newcomers. They were seen as beings with depth, resilience, and moral strength. Lady Vila approached him once more before the hall emptied. Commander Aaron, my words surprised many, but they were meant to show what humans can achieve. You act with honor, and that is rare in the galaxy. I hope you understand the significance of what I said today. Aaron smiled. I do. Your words honor not just me, but all humans. They remind us that our values matter, and that recognition can inspire growth. Thank you, Lady Vila. She nodded and turned to leave, her presence still commanding attention even as she moved through the crowd. Aaron watched her go, realizing that the summit had shifted. Humans were now recognized not only for their achievements but for their character. As he prepared to return to the human delegation, Aaron thought about the day's events. The words spoken by Lady Vila were unexpected, but they had power. They had stunned the hall, yes, but they had also opened minds. Humanity's reputation had grown, and Aaron understood that his role was not just to act as a diplomat but as a symbol of human courage, integrity, and hope. The summit had only begun, but Commander Aaron now realized that the galaxy was watching closely. And in the center of that attention, a bond had started to form, one that could change the way humans were seen forever. The day after Lady Vila's surprising declaration, Commander Aaron arrived at the Galactic Summit Hall with a sense of determination. The memory of her words still echoed in his mind. I wish you were my husband, human. The phrase had stunned the entire assembly, and he knew it would be remembered long after the summit ended. Yet, Aaron focused on the task at hand. Humans had earned attention, and now it was time to show that their character matched the admiration they received. The summit session began with discussions of interstellar alliances. Leaders spoke of cooperation, resource sharing, and peacekeeping. Aaron listened carefully, taking notes and observing the reactions of other delegates. Humans had much to learn, but they also had values to teach. Integrity, loyalty, and courage were traits that had guided humanity for centuries, and they could now be a bridge to understanding among many worlds. Lady Vila approached Aaron quietly before the first break. Commander, your actions are watched more closely now, she said. Many species are curious about humans. Some admire, some doubt. Today will test both perception and resolve. Aaron nodded. I understand. Humans have faced challenges before. We will meet this one with honesty and courage. The summit introduced a series of interactive exercises for the delegates. Each exercise tested problem-solving, ethics, and collaboration. It was not a game, but a way to demonstrate the practical capabilities and moral reasoning of each species. Aaron knew that humans, though lacking advanced alien powers, had unique qualities that could shine in these challenges. The first exercise was a strategic simulation. Delegates were presented with a hypothetical crisis, a region of space threatened by a natural phenomenon that could destroy colonies if left unchecked. Teams had to devise a plan to protect life and resources. Aaron's team included several alien species, some skeptical of human input. Aaron spoke calmly, explaining a methodical approach. "We must prioritize lives first," he said. "Resources can be recovered, but life cannot. If we act quickly and coordinate, we can minimize damage and protect everyone." Some alien delegates exchanged surprised looks. Most had assumed humans would focus on technological solutions or dominance. Aaron's emphasis on care and cooperation impressed them. Together, the team devised a plan that balanced safety, efficiency, and strategy. When the simulation concluded, their solution was ranked among the best. During the second exercise, delegates faced an ethical dilemma. A colony needed critical supplies, but delivering them meant choosing between two regions with equally urgent needs. Some species made choices based on political gain, others on profit. Aaron spoke for his team: "We must choose based on fairness and the greater good. Every life matters. Decisions cannot favor power over principle." Lady Vila observed quietly from a distance. Her eyes reflected approval as Aaron explained the reasoning behind their choice. The team's decision demonstrated humanity's willingness to act with morality, even under pressure. Several delegates whispered among themselves, impressed by the human sense of ethics. The third exercise tested resilience. Delegates had to endure a simulation of extreme environmental conditions while completing tasks. Some aliens withdrew quickly, finding the conditions unbearable. Humans, however, adapted. Aaron encouraged his team calmly. "Focus on each step. Stay aware of your strengths and support one another. Together, we can succeed." His words motivated not only the human delegates but also several aliens who had struggled. By the end of the simulation, humans had completed every challenge with determination, earning admiration from observers. Lady Vila's gaze met Aaron's across the hall. She nodded, a small but meaningful gesture of respect. As the exercises concluded, the Summit Council convened for discussion. Many delegates praised the human approach. They were not the strongest, fastest, or most technologically advanced, but their teamwork, ethics, and courage had been undeniable. Aaron realized that human resolve was the key to earning respect. Strength alone was not enough, it was how humans applied their abilities that set them apart. Later, during a break, Lady Vila approached Aaron again. "Commander, you have shown more than skill. You have demonstrated that humans act with heart and wisdom. That is what impressed me when I spoke yesterday. You are more than capable of earning trust and admiration across the galaxy." Aaron felt a mix of pride and humility. "Thank you, Lady Vila. I only act as any human would. Our people have faced hardships for generations, and we have learned that courage, honesty, and care are our greatest tools." She smiled gently. "That is why your words carry weight. Many species speak of morality, but humans live it. You embody the virtues that can inspire others. That is why I declared what I did yesterday. Not as a whim, but as acknowledgement of potential and character." The session continued with smaller discussions and one-on-one meetings. Delegates approached Aaron with questions, seeking advice, sharing insights, and sometimes expressing admiration. Humans were no longer just newcomers. They were beings with perspective, principles, and resilience. As the day progressed, Aaron reflected on what had happened. Lady Vila's words were personal, yes, but they had also symbolized recognition of humanity itself. Humans were being noticed not for power alone but for courage, integrity, and wisdom. That acknowledgement was more valuable than any technology, alliance, or weapon. In the evening, the delegates gathered for a formal dinner. Holographic lights painted the room with images of distant galaxies. Aaron sat with his delegation, reviewing notes and preparing for tomorrow. Lady Vila joined him briefly. "Commander, your actions today have shown humans at their best. The hall may still whisper about my words, but your response proves that humans meet challenges with honor and resolve." Aaron nodded. "Our people have always known that character matters more than power. Today, we have shown that to the galaxy." She smiled and placed a hand lightly on the edge of the table, a gesture of connection. "I look forward to seeing more of what humans can achieve. Your species has courage, heart, and wisdom. That is rare, and it will be remembered." Aaron watched her leave and realized that the summit had changed. Humans were no longer seen as a species to be tested. They were being seen as a model of resilience, integrity, and cooperation. It was a remarkable achievement for a young species in a vast galaxy. Before retiring to his quarters, Aaron thought about the journey ahead. The summit was not merely a place for agreements and trade. It was a stage to demonstrate humanity's values, to show that even without extraordinary alien abilities, humans could inspire and lead through character, courage, and wisdom. And somewhere in the hall, Lady Vila's presence remained, a quiet reminder that recognition and respect often come from those who understand the deeper worth of action. Aaron knew the days ahead would bring new challenges, but he was confident that humanity would meet them with the same resolve they had shown today. The galaxy was watching, and humans were ready to prove that their spirit could shine as brightly as any star. The next morning, Commander Aaron arrived at the Galactic Summit with a mixture of anticipation and determination. Today, the Summit Council had announced a new set of challenges, designed to test the abilities, intelligence, and moral character of each species. Humans had already gained respect for their courage and integrity, but these trials would determine whether they could truly stand among the galaxy's greatest civilizations. The hall had been transformed. Holographic arenas filled the space, each representing a different type of challenge. Some were tactical, requiring strategy and quick thinking. Others tested ethics, decision-making, and collaboration. A few were physical simulations designed to measure endurance and adaptability. Aaron observed quietly, noting the variety and difficulty of each trial. Lady Vila approached him once more. "Commander, these trials are not simple games," she said softly. "They are designed to reveal true character. Many species will try to cheat, dominate, or manipulate the tests. Humans must act with wisdom, courage, and integrity." Aaron nodded. "I understand. Humans have faced challenges before, and we will meet this one with honesty and determination." The first challenge was a tactical simulation. Delegates were grouped into mixed teams, each tasked with resolving a simulated interstellar crisis. Aaron's team included a variety of alien species, some skeptical of human guidance. The scenario involved a series of unstable planets threatened by natural disasters. Each team had to prioritize evacuations, protect resources, and maintain communication across multiple sectors. Aaron quickly assessed the situation. "We need to focus on life first," he said. Resources can be replaced, but lives cannot. We coordinate our actions, assign responsibilities based on strengths, and maintain constant communication. Together, we can succeed. Some aliens raised objections, favoring speed over safety or efficiency over fairness. Aaron responded calmly, explaining the reasoning behind his choices. Efficiency without care can lead to disaster. Humanity has learned that protecting people is more important than short-term gain. We adapt and collaborate, and that is our strength. By the end of the simulation, Aaron's team had successfully saved all virtual populations and minimized damage to infrastructure. Observers, including several council members, nodded in approval. Humans had not only solved the challenge but had done so with a focus on ethics and cooperation. Lady Vila's eyes glimmered with quiet pride. The second challenge tested ethical reasoning. Delegates faced a moral dilemma: a region of space was suffering from a shortage of essential supplies. Delivering aid to one planet meant delaying assistance to another equally needy world. Some species immediately calculated benefits and losses, prioritizing political advantage or resource gain. Aaron spoke for his team. We must prioritize based on need and fairness. No life is more valuable than another. We act to save as many as we can and make choices with honesty and care. That is what defines our actions. The council observed the deliberations closely. Aaron's reasoning impressed many delegates, showing that humans could make fair decisions under pressure, even when faced with complex moral choices. Lady Vila nodded subtly, acknowledging the clarity and honesty of his judgment. The third trial was a test of resilience and adaptability. Delegates were placed in simulated extreme environments: high gravity, intense heat, freezing temperatures, and disorienting landscapes. Many species struggled, withdrawing, or performing poorly under the conditions. Humans, however, adapted. Aaron encouraged his team with calm words. Focus on one step at a time. Support each other. We can overcome any obstacle together. Human delegates moved with careful coordination. They adjusted to changes quickly, remained calm under pressure, and helped struggling team members. By the end of the trial, humans had completed all tasks efficiently and safely. Other species watched in amazement. Humans had proven that they could endure hardships and continue to act wisely and compassionately. After the trials, the council convened to discuss results. Humans had performed exceptionally well in every category. They were not the fastest, strongest, or most technologically advanced, but their combination of intelligence, courage, morality, and teamwork set them apart. Aaron realized that humanity's true strength lay not in raw power but in character and action. Lady Vila approached him during a brief pause. Commander Aaron, your people have shown more than skill. You have shown heart, courage, and wisdom. That is why I spoke yesterday. Humans act with integrity even under pressure, and that is rare in the galaxy. Aaron felt a mixture of pride and humility. Thank you, Lady Vila. Humanity has always faced challenges, and we have learned that courage and care matter more than power. We act not for glory but for what is right. She smiled softly. That is why humans inspire. Many species measure worth by dominance or technology. Humans measure worth by action and character. That is why your achievements today are remarkable. You have earned trust and admiration. The council then opened the floor for questions. Delegates asked how humans made decisions, solved problems, and maintained cooperation. Aaron answered each clearly, showing transparency and honesty. He explained that humans relied on reasoning, collaboration, and ethical principles. His responses impressed many, reinforcing the perception that humans could be relied upon in diplomacy, conflict, and crisis. By evening, the trials had concluded. Humans had not only passed but had exceeded expectations. The hall buzzed with discussion about the species from Earth. Humans were no longer seen as young or inexperienced. They were now acknowledged as a species capable of courage, wisdom, and moral strength. Lady Vila approached Aaron one final time that day. "Commander, your people have done more than succeed in the trials. You have shown that humanity can act with honor, fairness, and courage. That is what matters most. That is what will be remembered." Aaron nodded, feeling the weight of her words. It is not about recognition. It is about showing that humans are capable of acting rightly, even when the universe is challenging. We have much to learn, but we also have much to offer. She looked at him with admiration. And that is why the galaxy will notice your species. Humans do not rely on shortcuts or domination. You act with thought, heart, and courage. That is why you are extraordinary. As Aaron returned to his delegation, he reflected on the day. Humans had faced tests designed to measure not only skill but character, and they had succeeded. The trials had proven that even without alien powers or technology, humans could inspire respect and trust through action, courage, and morality. The summit was far from over, but Aaron knew that humanity had already made a mark. They had shown that they were worthy of recognition, not because of strength alone, but because of their heart and spirit. And somewhere across the hall, Lady Vila's gaze remained, a reminder that recognition often comes to those who act with integrity and courage. For Commander Aaron, the trials were not just tests of ability, they were a testament to what humanity could achieve. They had faced scrutiny, pressure, and doubt, yet they had responded with resolve, intelligence, and care. The galaxy had taken notice, and humanity's place among the stars had grown stronger. The day after the trials, the Galactic Summit Hall buzzed with energy. Delegates from multiple worlds discussed the recent events in excited tones. Humans had performed exceptionally, proving that courage, intelligence, and moral integrity were qualities worthy of admiration. Commander Aaron arrived early, aware that today would be important for consolidating the respect humanity had earned. He walked along the crystal corridor, noting the curious glances and nods from other species. Some aliens approached him, asking questions about Earth, human leadership, and problem-solving strategies. Every conversation was an opportunity to strengthen humanity's reputation, and Aaron knew it well. Humans were being seen as capable allies, not just newcomers. Lady Vila was already waiting near the main chamber. She greeted him with a calm smile. "Commander Aaron, your people have impressed many here. Even the most skeptical delegates are reconsidering their views about humans." Aaron nodded. "Thank you, Lady Vila. Humans have faced challenges before. We act with integrity and courage because that is who we are. I am glad others are beginning to see it." The Summit Council had arranged a series of discussions focused on alliances and collaboration. Delegates were paired in groups to share experiences, ideas, and insights. Humans were given the opportunity to speak about their history, values, and approach to diplomacy. Aaron led the discussion with clarity, describing how humans had survived countless challenges by working together and acting with honesty. As he spoke, delegates listened intently. Many nodded in approval. Some whispered among themselves, acknowledging that humans had a unique perspective. Humans did not rely solely on advanced technology or overwhelming strength. They relied on cooperation, creativity, and ethical decision-making. That combination impressed even the oldest and most experienced alien civilizations. During a break, Lady Vila approached Aaron privately. "Commander, what you have done here is remarkable," she said softly. "You have shown that humans do not just speak of principles. You act on them. That is why many delegates are beginning to respect your species." Aaron felt a mixture of pride and humility. "It is not just me. Humans act together as a species. We face challenges, we learn, and we grow. Our actions are a reflection of all of humanity." She studied him for a moment, her eyes thoughtful. "That is true. I am fascinated by the way your species balances strength and compassion. Most civilizations prioritize one over the other, but humans demonstrate both. That balance is rare and valuable." The afternoon session included a panel on interstellar collaboration. Delegates presented proposals for trade, scientific research, and cultural exchange. Aaron contributed by explaining how humans approach teamwork, decision-making, and ethics. His words were simple but carried weight. Humans had already demonstrated their abilities in the trials, and now they were showing their reasoning and principles. Some delegates asked questions about human resilience and problem-solving. Aaron answered each with patience and honesty, showing that humans valued thoughtful action over reckless behavior. Other species were impressed. Many began to view humans as reliable partners for future projects and alliances. Lady Vila observed quietly from the side, occasionally nodding in approval. When a particularly skeptical delegate questioned the human's ability to maintain ethics under pressure, Aaron responded calmly. "Humans are not perfect," he said. "We make mistakes. But we learn from them. Our strength is not in avoiding error but in acting with integrity despite challenges. That is why we succeed." The hall was silent for a moment, and then the delegates murmured in agreement. They realized that humans' moral strength was as important as any technological advantage. It was a new perspective, one that had been reinforced by the trials and the discussions that followed. After the panel, the summit allowed for informal networking. Delegates moved around, exchanging ideas and sharing experiences. Many approached Aaron to speak privately. Some asked for advice on conflict resolution, others sought insights into human problem-solving strategies. Everywhere he went, humans were being respected for their judgment, courage, and heart. Lady Vila joined him near a quiet observation deck. The view overlooked a vast galaxy, stars sparkling in endless patterns. "Commander, your people have earned a place among the stars not through dominance, but through character," she said. "That is why I am drawn to humans. You show courage, wisdom, and kindness in ways few species do." Aaron looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of her words. "It is a responsibility as much as an honor," he said. "Humans have always believed that actions define a species. We strive to act rightly, to learn, and to grow. Recognition is welcome, but it is not our goal." She smiled gently. "That is why your words and actions carry meaning. Many species seek admiration through power or wealth, but humans inspire through principles. That is rare, and it is why I wish to honor your species publicly." Delegates returned to their sessions, but whispers of admiration for humans continued. Many older civilizations, previously skeptical, were reconsidering their stance. The young human species had shown that courage, intelligence, and ethical action could rival any power in the galaxy. As the day ended, Aaron gathered with his delegation to review the events. "We have earned respect through honesty, courage, and teamwork," he said. "This is only the beginning. We must continue to act with integrity and care in every situation. That is how humans will be remembered." Lady Vila approached him one final time before leaving. "Commander, Your actions have shown that humans can achieve greatness not by force, but through character, she said. Many will remember the summit not for agreements or treaties, but for the way your species inspired hope and trust. That is rare. Aaron nodded. Thank you, Lady Vila. That means a great deal. Humans will continue to act in ways that honor our principles and our people. We will show the galaxy that courage and integrity can shape the future. As he prepared to leave, Aaron reflected on the summit's significance. Humanity had faced tests, trials, and scrutiny, yet they had risen above. They had shown intelligence, bravery, and moral strength. And somewhere in the assembly, Lady Vila's admiration remained, a reminder that recognition and respect often followed those who acted rightly. The day concluded with a sense of accomplishment and anticipation. Humans had gained respect, forged new connections, and demonstrated that their actions matched the praise they received. The summit was far from over, but the path ahead was clearer. Humans were now recognized as a species capable of shaping the galaxy not only through skill but through heart and wisdom. Commander Aaron understood that the journey was just beginning. The trials had proven humanity's worth, and the respect they had earned would pave the way for future alliances and cooperation. The galaxy was watching, and humans had shown that they could inspire, lead, and make a difference through courage, integrity, and understanding. The final day of the Galactic Summit arrived, and the hall was filled with an air of anticipation. Delegates from countless worlds had gathered to conclude discussions, finalize agreements, and reflect on the events of the past days. Commander Aaron walked through the grand crystal corridors with his delegation, feeling the weight of humanity's achievements. They had passed trials, gained respect, and shown that courage, integrity, and compassion were qualities worth admiration. Lady Vila was already present near the main stage. Her silver-tinted skin reflected the soft light of distant stars, and her calm eyes followed Aaron as he approached. She gave a small nod of acknowledgement, a gesture that carried more meaning than words could convey. Aaron returned the gesture, sensing that the culmination of the summit would be both significant and personal. The council convened to discuss final observations. Many delegates spoke highly of the human species. They praised humanity's ability to act with wisdom and morality, to endure challenges, and to collaborate even with unfamiliar allies. Aaron listened, noting the change in perception that had occurred over the course of the summit. Humans were no longer newcomers, they were respected contributors to the galaxy's future. During the closing ceremony, Lady Vila stepped forward. Her voice carried clearly through the hall, addressing every delegate. Today, we recognize not only achievements in technology and strategy but the strength of character, she said. One species has demonstrated courage, wisdom, and integrity in a way that inspires all of us. Humans from Earth have shown that action guided by principle can overcome the greatest challenges. The hall was silent for a moment, and then applause filled the space. Humans were acknowledged not for power, wealth, or advantage, but for their heart and spirit. Aaron felt a swell of pride, not only for himself but for his people. Humanity had proven that their values were as strong as any technology or alien power in the galaxy. After the ceremony, delegates gathered for informal discussions and celebrations. Many approached Aaron to offer congratulations, seek advice, or express curiosity about Earth. Humans were now seen as reliable partners, capable of contributing meaningfully to diplomacy, science, and interstellar collaboration. Lady Vila approached him privately once the hall began to quiet down. "Commander Aaron," she said, her voice calm and sincere, "throughout the summit, you have demonstrated that humans act with courage and wisdom. That is why I spoke openly before. I have watched your species rise to every challenge with integrity, and I am deeply impressed. Aaron looked at her, feeling a mixture of respect and curiosity. Thank you, Lady Vila. Your words honor humanity, but we have acted as we always do, guided by principle and determination. We strive to do what is right, not for recognition, but because it is necessary. She smiled faintly. And that is exactly what makes humans extraordinary. Most species seek admiration through display or strength, but your people earn it through honesty, courage, and compassion. That is why I hold your species in such high regard. Aaron felt a warmth he had not expected. Lady Vila's admiration was more than formal, it reflected a genuine understanding of humanity. It reminded him that recognition in the galaxy came not only from achievements but from the character that guided those achievements. The delegates began to depart for their home planets, exchanging farewells and making plans for future cooperation. Humans had forged new connections, and their reputation was secure. Yet Aaron knew that the journey of humanity in the galaxy had only just begun. They had earned respect, but the true challenge would be maintaining it while continuing to act with courage, wisdom, and integrity. As the summit concluded, Lady Vila joined Aaron near the observation deck, overlooking a vast cluster of stars. "Commander, humanity has earned its place among the stars," she said. "Your species demonstrates that true strength comes from character, and that courage and kindness are as powerful as technology. That is why I said what I did before. You have proven it to all of us." Aaron gazed at the stars, feeling both pride and responsibility. It is our duty as humans to continue acting rightly, to face challenges with courage, and to support others with care. Recognition is welcome, but the responsibility is greater. We must show that these qualities define us, wherever we go. She studied him for a long moment, her calm eyes reflecting admiration and thoughtfulness. "That is why I am confident in your species. Humans have heart, wisdom, and courage. That combination will inspire others and shape the future of this galaxy." For a while, they stood in silence, looking at the stars. Aaron felt the vastness of space, the responsibility of his people, and the potential of humanity. The summit had tested them, shown them to the galaxy, and now the future awaited. Humans were no longer just observers, they were participants, capable of shaping interstellar cooperation through principle and action. Before leaving the summit, Aaron addressed his delegation. "We have earned respect through courage, integrity, and teamwork. The galaxy has seen our values, and we must continue to act in ways that reflect them. Humanity has the potential to inspire and lead not through domination but through character. Let us honor that opportunity." The delegation nodded, understanding the significance of their achievements. They had demonstrated that humans could act with intelligence, morality, and bravery, even under scrutiny and pressure. The galaxy now recognized what humanity had long known: courage, integrity, and care were powerful tools capable of shaping the future. As the shuttle prepared to depart, Lady Vila came once more to the docking area. She looked at Aaron with calm sincerity. "Commander, humans have proven that your people are ready to take a place among the stars. I look forward to seeing what you achieve in the future. And I hope you understand that my words before were meant to honor your character, not just your actions." Aaron nodded, grateful for the recognition. "I understand. And we will continue to act in ways that honor humanity and the values that guide us. That is how we will shape our place in the galaxy." As the shuttle lifted from the summit hall, Aaron looked back at the crystal structures, the delegates, and the stars beyond. Humanity had proven itself not through power alone but through heart, courage, and integrity. Lady Vila's admiration was a reflection of what the galaxy now recognized: humans were capable of inspiring, leading, and making a difference through principle and action. The journey ahead was vast, filled with unknown challenges and opportunities. But Commander Aaron knew that humanity had already taken the first step toward a lasting legacy among the stars. They had shown that their spirit, their courage, and their integrity could shine as brightly as any star, and that recognition, respect, and admiration would follow those who acted rightly. As the stars stretched endlessly beyond the shuttle's windows, Aaron felt a deep sense of purpose. Humanity's place among the stars had been earned, and their journey was just beginning. With courage in their hearts, wisdom in their minds, and integrity guiding their actions, humans were ready to shape the galaxy and perhaps, inspire it to be a better place for all.